If you've traveled south of the border, you may have had elotes, which means grilled corn slathered with sauce and spices and cheese. Some say this is how corn on the cob was meant to be. I think I could agree. Including Kristin Andrus, who dares you to add this to your outdoor grilling. And Kristin, you are always daring us to do new things. Pushing me to the limits here, friend.
Right, this is not canned corn.
Not canned corn.
Right,
Darn
right.
it. So I can't get away with it anymore.
Right.
What's the inspiration? Why are we doing corn today?
Okay, so right now corn is in season. It's like the perfect time. It's sweet, it's yummy. And I was in New York last week and I tried a couple different favorites. And it was funny on Instagram, a lot of people kind of got excited talking about it and what their favorites were. And so I was like, I'm gonna show you guys how to make this at home.
So fun, and I love it because really barbecue season, love a good barbecue, but fun to have something different.
Totally. And look how like it's so pretty. It's different, like you said. You could actually not do it on the cob. You could cut it all off and do the same exact thing in a bowl and make it a salad. You could top, anyways, you know me, I'm always coming up with different things. You could top your chicken with it the next day. So it can totally go a couple of days.
But I just have to say that I visually love these.
I know.
There is something that makes that look so fancy. Like I would be the first one to break that off and be like, out with the old, cut it in half. I see this and I think this really makes it kind of like, you're drawn to it, right? It looks a little bit fancier.
Yeah, once again, cool on the table. It could be like your centerpiece. I actually had it in a pot as I was barbecuing it last night and it looked so pretty, just kind of like in a little basket or a little pot. But I'm gonna show you what to do.
Okay.
So instead of taking off all of this, like you said, and breaking it off like we normally do, you're actually gonna hold it up like this. You're gonna just take one piece of it off.
This is how it's stayed together.
And then you're just gonna tie it like this and it'll stay. And that is what is gonna go on the barbecue. Now what I do is I actually dip this part in water before I put it on the barbecue.
Okay, why?
Because I don't want it to
fry.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to completely burn. I use a Traeger and so it doesn't actually burn, but on a real gas barbecue, it could burn.
It could burn.
So barbecuing is one way.
Dip the bottom in the water.
Yeah, dip it in water or spray it with water, put it on the barbecue. On a barbecue, it's gonna be like 7 to 10 minutes. You're gonna kind of rotate it. You have to babysit a little bit so it doesn't burn.
During this, but 7 to 10 minutes full,
Total, yeah. And corn actually cooks pretty quickly. Now, another thing that I showed yesterday that everyone was saying, what are you doing? What are you doing on there? Is I put it in, if you do want to boil your corn, you put it in a pot of boiling water. You put a cube of butter and a cup of milk.
Permission, a cube of butter.
Yes, you do. It is the best way to boil corn. Instead of just water, you have a cup of milk, a cube of butter, and you boil it for, once again, 7 to 10 minutes. It is so delicious.
Never thought.
Well, I didn't come up with it. Yeah, it's like it's out there on the internet. But it really is the best way I've ever boiled corn.
Okay, that's good to know because I didn't know. So you can go to boiling if you really want to.
Yeah.
Or if you have a grill that maybe is.
Yeah, and there's different. I'll tell you, like some I would barbecue and some I would not. So I'm going to tell you which ones.
Okay, and this I'm so excited. So you brought on 3 different types of.
3 different types. Yes.
Mexican street corn, whatever.
Yes, you can do whatever works for you. Okay, so the first one is a Mexican street corn, and this is like Cafe Habana, what you talked about, which is probably the most popular. And so what we're gonna do is we have a little bit of sour cream. We have mayo. Mayo is kind of the base that all of these are for.
Okay.
This one we are gonna grill. So we're gonna tie it up, we're gonna put it on the grill, and then in our mayo and sour cream.
Are you putting anything on the corn before you grill it? Or just dipping this in water?
I did put a little bit of olive oil.
Or something?
I did a little bit of olive oil, but not necessary, but I did.
Okay.
And then into this mixture, you're gonna put some cumin and some salt. And then you are going to, this is what this is, like this. And so you have this really yummy mixture. And what you're gonna do is, I actually think once this is hot off the grill, I would use a brush, which right now it's not hot, obviously. And we're just going to put it all over the corn, just like that. And so we get a nice
just do the top, or do you go all the way around?
No, do the entire thing.
Okay.
Yep, and if you have some kind of brush, I actually think that works better.
Okay.
Since we don't have time, I'm gonna show you. Then we take this cotija cheese. And it's like a Mexican cheese.
Stuff is good too.
Yes, it's so good. And we're going to put on there. And this kind of acts as the glue that keeps the cheese on there, which is really yummy.
Okay.
Now, once it's hot, do it when it's hot. And then you can always reheat it. And then I'm gonna take some chili powder. I would get the best, that you can of chili powder because it kind of has that punch at the end. I would try to get a high quality one if you can.
Okay, where do you get yours?
I just look for more like authentic, like if you were at a Mexican market or something like that.
Okay.
You could also just get one at the grocery store, which would be fine too. But,
okay, so that's what kind of
so
gives
this is
it
kind of the
texture and
Mexican
look.
street corn. It's so yummy. Once again, if you wanted to cut it off the cob and make a salad like that, you could do that.
And would
as
you
well.
just put the topping kind of on top like this?
I would actually mix it through
Okay.
and then top it with the chili powder. And then this is the
Can't
crowning
forget them.
glory is the
Always with Mexican food. I love
I know,
this.
lime, like I could just put so much lime juice on there. So once again, the entire corn on the cob would be coated in this. And you just go to town.
So
and
many
then,
flavors.
Look how great you have this handle rather than those like little yellow things that our parents had, right?
Those grandparents.
You
The
just
little
eat it
corn
like
on the
that.
cobbies.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Okay, looks awesome. What's our next
Okay,
one?
Jamaican street
I'm
corn.
excited about this one. Very unpredictable.
Totally, and this one is actually my favorite. I like it better than that one. This is everyone's favorite. This is my favorite. Okay, so what we're doing in this one is there is a ton of flavor. This one is boiled. Yeah,
Awesome.
you could barbecue this, but I personally like it boiled. I just got a popsicle stick like this. I shoved it in there, super easy to do. Once again, I'm going to take a mixture of, this one is just mayonnaise. And then we have ground ginger. I keep my ginger in the freezer so I can pull out at any time.
Okay.
And I just grate it. And so it has this really yummy ginger. We put cinnamon. We put a lot of curry powder, cumin, and some cayenne pepper.
I am just thinking of that mix of spices is so fun.
So yummy. So once again,
fun.
once you pull it out, I would coat it just like this.
And okay to do it when it's hot.
I would do it when it's hot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually key. And then I toast my coconut. And this is actually like a sweeter, which I don't know, often think of like corn on the cob as being sweet, but this one, once again, coat the entire thing. And then I put the easiest way, instead of like broiling my coconut, is on a saute pan, because then you won't burn it. Where all of a sudden you put it in the broiler, you leave, and you're like, oh, I burned my coconut.
Oh, good idea.
Put it in a saute pan. I actually think it does much better.
And then just kind of whip it around. That's a good
This
tip.
is so
good
yummy.
and such a fun mix of flavors.
Yeah,
okay, last one is also really fun.
And then I'm gonna grab this corn. Okay, this is one that I just kind of made up, kind of saw different things, and I thought I'm gonna do something a little bit different than that.
We can always count on you for this, Kristin.
I know, it's my favorite thing, just to create. Okay, so I did an avocado, cilantro, salt, lime juice, a lot of lime juice, and garlic.
Oh, garlic.
I put it in the blender, but I still kept it, a little bit chunky. I didn't want it completely smooth
like
or runny or anything like that. Yeah. And then I'm gonna take it, and once again, with a brush or whatever, and this is like avocado and lime, and it's salty, and you have the cilantro in there and the garlic.
Gosh, I
Actually,
don't know.
maybe this one's my favorite. I don't know.
These three may be up for debate because those are looking so good.
So coat the whole thing. You can put a little cojita cheese on it or no cheese. I actually kind of like it just like this.
Yeah, like straight up. That feels like the perfect kind of Mexican
really
limey thing.
good.
Okay, and I have to give you a shout out for the charcuterie board that you posted on Instagram.
Oh, so I
That was
threw
impressive, my friend.
Thank you. A bridal shower, and I did like meats and cheeses. And what I showed you on Instagram
It's
is
nuts.
It was
nuts.
It was really pretty, but I showed like an inexpensive way to do a charcuterie board, because meats and cheeses are actually really expensive.
Pricey.
Yeah, they're a lot. And so I showed, fill your board with fruit, and then fill it with fillings like olives and peppers that are a little bit less expensive, and then do your meats and cheeses. Anyways, I gave you a little tutorial on how to do that.
Good,
so.
love it. Your Instagram is always full of good stuff.
Good.
Thanks so much,
Yeah,
Kristin.
you're
so good to
welcome.
have you on.